Y'all, grab your seats because I have the most scandalous tea to spill today about drama that's literally rocking the hip-hop world. The situation between Redman and Sexyy Red is getting messier by the minute, and I'm here to break down every single detail. First off, let me just say that Redman is out here dropping nuclear bombs, claiming that Sexyy Red gave him STDs. Like, can you even believe the audacity? And he's not just stopping there, he's going on a full-blown rampage, calling out everyone who he feels stabbed him in the back. The drama is beyond intense. Now, for those wondering where all this came from, let's dive deep into this mess. Sexyy Red has been absolutely dominating headlines lately, but usually it's about her music taking over the charts or her latest viral moment. This time, baby, it's a whole different kind of headline, and it's got the whole industry shook. Even though we've never seen these two publicly linked before, trust me when I tell you that their connection runs way deeper than anyone initially thought. The plot just keeps getting thicker. Let's talk about Miss Sexyy Red for a minute because she has been on an absolute tear lately. Whether it's her completely unapologetic style that has everyone talking or those viral tracks that have TikTok in an absolute frenzy, she's been the name on everyone's lips. She just did this absolutely incredible sold-out show that had everyone remembering exactly why she's the hottest thing in rap right now. The girl is literally unstoppable, but you know what they say, with great fame comes great drama. And honey, has she ever landed in the middle of some piping hot tea with these Redman accusations? Speaking of Redman, let's spill some tea about him because this man is no stranger to controversy. Between his completely unfiltered interviews and these wild social media rants, he's been putting everyone on blast left and right. And the timing? Oh honey, let's talk about that. With his new project in the works, people are side-eyeing this whole situation like crazy. Could this be a publicity stunt? Or is there something deeper and more scandalous going on behind those studio doors? The fans are literally losing their minds trying to piece together how these two even got involved in the first place. And with Redman throwing out these serious accusations and talking about betrayal, it's got everyone wondering what's really going on behind the scenes. Is this just drama for attention? Or could this actually shake up the whole industry? Now what makes this even more interesting is how different their styles are. But sometimes, opposites attract in the most unexpected ways. Even though nothing was officially confirmed, there's clearly some kind of connection here that's got everyone talking. Let me break down Redman's story for you because this is crucial to understanding everything. This man comes straight from Newark, New Jersey, and if you know anything about Newark, you already know the vibe. It's raw, it's gritty, it's pure East Coast energy. His whole sound is drenched in that essence. Funky, real, and sometimes a little trippy, but always keeping it 100 with those heavy beats. Y'all, his come-up story is wild. Got expelled from Montclair State University at just 16 because of grades. Then his own mama kicked him out for selling that white. But listen, that hustle never left him. Started out as DJ Cut Killer, playing local parties and grinding his way up, then boom! Eric Sermon from EPMD spotted him while he was DJing for Lords of the Underground. Eric saw something special and brought him on tour, and that's how Redman got his big break. By 1992, his debut album dropped, and it was absolute fire. Critics couldn't get enough, fans were obsessed, and it even went gold. Let's talk about his style because it's legendary. He's got this funky P-Funk vibe mixed with classic East Coast grit, clever wordplay, humor, and just raw energy that can't be matched. And don't even get me started on the weed culture. Him and Method Man basically turned it into an entire aesthetic. Speaking of Method Man, their partnership is absolutely iconic. Together, they're Method Man and Redman, dropping classics like Blackout in '99 and Blackout 2 in 2009. And who could forget their stoner comedy film, How High? If you haven't seen it, you are seriously missing out. They even had their own sitcom.
You might get around other people that's still doing what you're trying to quit from. So it's not just about quitting. It's about allowing yourself to get around from the distractions.
Y'all, as you just witnessed, Redman got real about his celibacy journey, and it's deeper than any lyrics he's ever written. For 2 whole years, this man stayed away from any intimate connections, and the reason why will break your heart. It all started after this devastating breakup and a 7-year divorce that just drained him completely. This wasn't just about his love life falling apart. It completely derailed his music too. His album Muddy Waters 2 got pushed back, and everything was just in absolute chaos. But during this time, Redman didn't just stay celibate, he even gave up smoking. Can you believe it? He says it was literally the best decision he's ever made in his life.
Straight 2.5 years. And it was the best thing I could have ever done in my life. Celibacy, 2.5 years, no smoking, 2.5 years.
As we just heard, this journey completely transformed him. All those distractions, gone. His creativity, through the roof. But let's keep it 100. This wasn't easy for our boy. The temptation was real, and sometimes he felt like he was losing his mind. He had to have deep conversations with God just to stay strong through it all. Now let's switch gears and talk about Sexyy Red, because her story is completely different. She's this bold, unapologetic queen straight out of St. Louis, bringing that southern heat that's impossible to ignore. She's turning up the volume with these fiery, bass-heavy beats that make you want to hit the club and turn all the way up. Her lyrics, baby, they're raw, brash, and totally confident, especially when it comes to embracing her sexuality and running the show in her own lane. Where Redman brings that classic raw East Coast flow, Sexyy Red is serving fresh new Southern energy that's unapologetically hers. So when these two musical worlds collide, honey, it's the perfect recipe for drama. And here's where it gets spicy. Rumors are swirling that there might have been a little more than just musical chemistry between these two. Maybe opposites really do attract, if you catch my drift. Y'all know how the music industry works. It's this crazy web of connections that go deeper than we ever realize. One quick DM or even a random run-in at an after party can turn into way more than just a friendly what's up. And with Sexyy Red and Redman, let's just say some very interesting whispers are starting to circulate. Now, about these STD rumors, we're not saying it's true, but you know what they say, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Or in this case, maybe a prescription. But here's what makes it even more interesting. Remember Redman's whole celibacy journey we talked about earlier? Like, what happened to make him break that commitment? Was there something about Sexyy Red that made him question everything? The underground scene in hip-hop is a whole different world, and trust me, what happens behind closed doors usually stays behind closed doors. But this wouldn't be the first time hip-hop threw us a curveball with unexpected connections. Remember Lil Kim and Biggie? That wasn't just business, honey. And what about when Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce dropped Savage? That collab had Houston shook, or that time everyone was buzzing about Nicki Minaj and Nas. Talk about an unexpected duo. The whole situation has got everyone wondering, did something happen between them that made Redman completely rethink his stance on relationships and intimacy? We know how the hip-hop world works. There's always more going on behind the scenes than what we see in public. This potential connection between Redman and Sexyy Red might just be another chapter in that hidden book of hip-hop history. The culture has always had this mix of public drama and private affairs, and it's fascinating how these kinds of secret relationships and connections can stay tucked away in the shadows until someone decides to bring them into the light. So what do y'all think about this whole situation? Could there really be some truth to these wild claims, or is this just another case of hip-hop drama getting blown out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stick around for this next video too. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up next.